Public punishment of a baker who raised bread prices during a famine caused by flooding, Egypt, 1954. Ham the chimpanzee returns to Earth after a spaceflight, USA, 1961. Passengers board the Titanic, 1912. The Archatico Bridge in Greece, built during the Mycenaean civilization from the 16th to the 11th centuries BCE, is one of the oldest arch bridges in the world and the oldest bridge in Europe. Canaan Banana, the first president of Zimbabwe, 1980. Throughout history, women have explored various methods to enhance their bust size, and this balloon contraption is among the less risky options. Marie Curie, the first woman to win the Nobel Prize in her laboratory in Paris, 1912. Russian inmate identifies a cruel camp guard at Buchenwald, 1945. This is not a fall, but a descent down the scariest slope in America, Corbett's Couloir, Doug Coombs, 1990. The unemployed stand in line at Al Capone's free soup kitchen, The Great Depression, Chicago, USA, 1931. Andy the Goose was born without feet but became a celebrity after inventor Gene Fleming made him Nike sneakers. He inspired children with disabilities until he was tragically found killed in a park in 1991. The culprit was never found. British nuclear test, Orange Herald, 1957. When Americans discovered that Native American women considered it improper to have hair on any part of the body except the head, they reacted by calling the practice barbarism and ugliness. Children play with bundles of money during hyperinflation, Germany, 1922. Punishment of a soldier of the Russian Imperial Army with rods in a rear unit for disobeying an officer's order, 1916. The Bronx Zoo featured an exhibit called The Most Dangerous Animal in the World. It was a mirror, USA, 1963. This man survived a fire on a sinking ship in 1871, leaving him with emotional trauma. 41 years later, he finally overcame his fears and nightmares and decided to go on a cruise on the Titanic. An Army Jeep in good condition, 1950s. Annette Kellerman demonstrates a women's swimsuit in 1907. She would later be arrested for indecency. The arsenal discovered in Bonnie and Clyde's car after their death, 1934. Doctors perform artificial respiration on a drowning victim while a woman in a swimsuit poses, New York, 1940. Rome, 1964. This is a local lost and found office. On the shelves, lost umbrellas. It's very interesting how the owner can recognize their umbrella in such abundance. How witnesses used to testify against the Mafia, 1969. Wounded British soldiers with captured German helmets, France, 1916. Bandits Roost, the most dangerous street in New York, 1888. Feminist Cat, 1910s. The Statue of Liberty, while temporarily assembled in Paris, France, 1885. A Soviet lieutenant wipes his boots on a Nazi flag in Breslau, 1945. A Vietnamese child and his father, who was accused of aiding North Vietnamese partisans, 1966. A Native American tribe leader visits his son, a tank crew member, in the U.S., 1954. KGB officers arresting radar and aviation engineer Adolf Tolkachev, USSR, 1985. He managed to pass 54 top-secret developments to the United States, receiving in total 789,500 rubles and about $2 million kept in a foreign account for a possible escape. Tolkachev was executed in 1986. Preparation for mass executions at Babi Yar. Between 1941 and 1943, it is estimated that the Nazis executed between 70,000 and 200,000 people here. London after a bombing, 1940. USA, 1960. Since many older American cities lack swimming pools, entrepreneurs devised a mobile, pay-to-use swimming pool on wheels. Children being fed as part of the Save the Children program, an international campaign to provide food for at least 7 million orphan children born during the Russian Revolution, 1921. Beware a vicious dog, sign, 1940s. The symbol of the Ku Klux Klan became white suits and masks. Klan members burned crosses and terrorized their victims. In total, over 130,000 black people, Jews, and Asians suffered. The Klan was only definitively disbanded in 1944. The last day of distributing gold, which the government had been intensively seizing from the population the entire previous year. China, 1949. Out of 100,000 people, only the first 50 who bribed the police received gold. A device for smoking an entire pack of cigarettes, 1950s. Group portrait of a women's hockey team, Canada, 1916. F. Scott Fitzgerald wrote only when drunk, creating up to 8,000 words after leaving a bar. Sober, he lost productivity. A young guy spent almost 13 years in a coma. Upon waking up, he revealed that he heard every word said to him, including his mother saying, "I hope you die." Korean entrepreneurs buy weapons for defending their property during the riot. Los Angeles, USA, 1992. Marilyn Monroe's last photo shoot, 3 weeks before her death. USA, 1962. The Ku Klux Klan at a fair in Colorado, 1926. France, c. 1945. Boys staring through a bakery window at trays of fresh pastries and bread. No lotus feet, the result of a millennium-old Chinese tradition where young girls had their bones broken and feet bound so they wouldn't grow past 10 centimeters. School children of Russia awakened by alarm. The photo was taken in 1937. Blacksmith Patrick O'Neill without one arm and his special working prosthesis. England, 1929. Wreckage of the submarine Kursk, Barents Sea, 2000. 8 such mirrors were found in Çatalhöyük, a Neolithic site in Turkey. All these mirrors date back approximately 8,000 years, and each was made from a piece of obsidian. An image symbolizing racial segregation faced by Africans. A wrestler named Exotic and his minor father, United Kingdom, 1973. An American soldier poses in front of burning oil. Gulf War, 1991. Tooth extraction pliers, 1860s. A screw was inserted into the painful tooth to make it easier to grab and extract along with the root. This was done without anesthesia. Lady Driver, 1902. Dr. Fukushi Masaichi is a pathologist who founded a unique collection of tattoos taken from the corpses of Yakuza gang members. Tokyo, 1987. Thousands of Union and Confederate Civil War veterans shake hands to honor the fallen and promote reconciliation between former enemies. USA, 1913. The shadow of a person left after the atomic bomb blast in Hiroshima. In 1979, FBI agent Hansen was tasked with finding a Soviet spy. The twist was that the spy was Hansen himself. An apraxia vendor in a suit made from apraxia, 1890. Hitler was afraid of visiting dentists. He often complained of toothaches, had terrible bad breath, yellow teeth, abscesses, and gum disease. Henry Freeman in Whitby was the sole survivor of a storm, thanks to a cork life jacket that other crew members refused to wear. After this, life jackets became mandatory, 1890. A little boy watches Warsaw Pact troops invade his country, Czechoslovakia, August 1968. The USSR actively fought against religion and alcohol. This photo shows the head of state in 1970. A dog named Pip sentenced to life imprisonment for killing the governor's cat. USA, 1924. Protest against racial integration in schools, USA, 1959. The sign reads, "Race mixing is communism." Refugee children from the city of Kayseri, orphaned as a result of the Armenian genocide, arrive at an orphanage, Syria, 1920. Women in special cloaks to protect themselves from smog, Philadelphia, USA, 1953. Two childhood friends meet on opposite sides of the barricades, Saint-Brieuc, France, 1972. The last execution by guillotine did not take place in the Middle Ages, as many tend to think, but after the release of the first Star Wars film on September 10th, 1977. It was World War II that forced girls to shave their legs. Nylon went to parachutes and stockings had to be imitated with cream that only applied well to smooth skin. Members of the New York Fat Man's Club, 1904. Farmer Mrs. Maud Lee and her daughter Pat enjoy breakfast with their pet sheep named Betty. England, 1949. Bombing for peace is like having sex for virginity, a famous slogan used by hippies during protests against the Vietnam War in the 1960s. People used to be infected with malaria to treat syphilis. The high temperature caused by malaria would destroy the syphilis bacteria, and then patients were cured of malaria. Illegal abortions remained a reality in the USA until the early 1970s, when the procedure was considered murder. However, many doctors continued to perform this procedure underground. The owner of the abortion clinic in the photo would be tried for murder. Winston Churchill in Boer War captivity, standing on the right, South African Republic, 1899. A doctor tracked the progression of Alzheimer's disease in a patient over 15 years by analyzing the signatures on medical forms. Testifying against the mob in open court, a high-stakes moment in the USA, 1933. The Black Widow, Bella Sorensen Guinness, a female serial killer who killed for pleasure and greed. She is known to have buried 42 husbands and accumulated more than $250,000. The Black Widow ended her life tragically. Her body was found in a forest. Workers and 3 links of the anchor chain for the Titanic, 1910. Huge parts were handmade. The size of the ship was record-breaking for its time. In 1885, an ancient Maya statue was found in the jungles of Honduras by archaeologists. Benedict XVI, the 265th Pope, who became a member of the Hitler Youth in 1941 and served in an SS anti-aircraft battalion during World War II. Moroccan Police Commissioner Mustafa Tabet, at his 1993 trial, accused of raping hundreds of women in the country's worst police corruption scandal. The felling of massive sequoia trees in the USA, early 20th century. Everyone has embarrassing photos from the past. A Swedish woman hitting a neo-Nazi protester with her handbag. The woman was reportedly a concentration camp survivor, 1985. The day Dad finally came home. Gunnar Hector Murdoch had been a POW in Singapore for over 4 years. His wife Rosina and son John didn't know if he was alive. On his birthday in 1945, he finally returned. Chinese people celebrate the successful test of the first atomic bomb, 1964. Argentavis, possibly the largest bird to ever inhabit Earth. Betty Page, a popular pin-up model of the 1950s, became fascinated with religion at the end of her career, which affected her mental health. In 1972, she was admitted to a psychiatric hospital after attacking her family with a knife, believing they did not pray hard enough. She was discharged several times, but returned again. At 54, she attacked her neighbor, claiming that God sent her to kill. From then on, she remained in the hospital until 1992. U.S. Air Force planes fly over burning Kuwaiti oil wells, 1991. In 2016, U.S. student Otto Warmbier was sentenced to 15 years in North Korea for stealing a poster. Returned to the U.S. a year later, in a coma with severe brain damage, he died days later. Shockingly, North Korea demanded a $2 million bill for his medical care. A strike by African American sanitation workers asserting their dignity. The signs read, "I am a man, USA, 1968. In 1948, a local tribal chief in North Dakota weeps as he is forced to sign a treaty handing over fertile land in the Missouri River Flats, his tribe's homeland, under the threat of his people's destruction. A medal for drunkenness in the form of a collar with a cast iron medal, late 18th century. Dubai, 1965. The American 90th Bombardment Group, Jolly Rogers, 1942. The day Prohibition was repealed, USA, December 5th, 1933. Thank you for watching this video until the end. I hope these photos impressed you. Some may have made you angry, brought a smile, made you happy, or perhaps even cause some negativity. Feel free to leave your comments and stay tuned for the next part. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Bye.